Hello everybody of Enchanted Emerald. This is Melissa bringing you today messages from your spirit guides. I trust that you've taken a few moments to glance at the photo and see exactly which pile of cards you are drawn to and to which crystal you might be drawn to today. And as we get started, I will move through each of these piles and I will put the timestamps below, of course, and you can navigate through the video if you so choose to your number that you picked so you can get your message. So we're going to go ahead and start here with the first one. The first one was the Spirit Quartz, which is a beautiful crystal here, very reflective of harmony. And if yours isn't as dull as mine, you'd probably see that the light reflects a little bit better off of the points on the Spirit Quartz. But it's a very beautiful crystal, okay? So really coming into the pile one here, we're going to be talking a little bit about harmony. Okay, so as we get started here, just a little information here. Spirit wanted me to do this a little bit as well with messages from the moon. So they correlated each pile with the moon. So I'll be talking a little bit about what phase you're in, right? What phase of life you're in. So as we get started here, we have the Ten of Wands. And that came out with the Eight of Pentacles, with the Seven of Pentacles. Not feeling like you're making any progress. I do feel as though you might be feeling as though things are at a little bit of a standstill, and this is aggravating you. You're very frustrated, maybe, right? Watch pot never boils. That's the card that comes in with that. But things are going to start hastening for you. Things are going to start to move rapidly for you, which is really, really great. So as we get into the reading here, I really want you to know that I do feel like there's a little bit of some shadow work going to come up for you, because we have here, Spirit is saying that you are in the quarter moon. So it's as if half of you is lit up and the other half of you is kind of like in the shadow phase. Okay, so it's about doing some of the shadow work that you need to be fully illuminated. So you're in the quarter moon. Okay, now I do feel like some of the shadow work here is going to be about getting yourself unstuck out of these feelings, these beliefs, all of these things that are coming up, this story that you're telling yourself, because things aren't progressing as quickly as you want it to. And so you might be telling yourself a story about how it's not going to work out or how you can't do things. And so be mindful of this chatter that's coming up for you in your mind at this time, okay? I do feel like also there might be feelings of worthiness or deservingness coming up around that as well. I'm hearing that song lyric, like, baby, I'm worth it. So I do feel, and I'm getting chills with that. That's a really good validation. So I do feel as though it's about understanding that you are worth it. You are worthy of all of the beautiful things that you need and want in this world. It is overcoming the belief that you aren't, okay? And so using maybe that affirmation even, that I am worthy, okay? And I do feel like with all of this, it's about using this violet flame, because I'm going to get into this in a second, but this was the card that we pulled out of the Kyle Gray Keeper of the Light deck for your final message here for you. But I do feel like it's a little bit about using the violet flame to kind of burn away some of those old beliefs, things that are just kind of lingering in your aura, lingering in your energy field, things that you might not even believe anymore, but they're there, right? And subconsciously they're affecting you and what's showing up for you in your life at this time. And so it's kind of holding you back. And so that's frustrating. It is frustrating. And so really making sure that you are claiming and affirming that you are worthy, that you know that you're worthy, and really stepping into your power, because this is stepping into your power. This is about stepping into your power and overcoming that adversity, staying determined through that adversity, because you have 2 8s here. Okay, and that is exactly what that's about, that strength, that fortitude, courage, right? We really, really want you to be stepping up being courageous and mindful of the fact that of course you're going to have adversity, right? Like there's always going to be something that we have to go through, but you also grow through what you go through, right? And so on the other side of that, you're going to be all the more powerful as a result of that, right? It's a beautiful thing. And so, I feel like it's really about, the Eight of Wands, things are going to be taking shape very quickly once you realize that you are powerful and you are worthy, and it's going to be coming to fruition very quickly. I do feel as though you're in alignment with all of those really amazing things. Like they're pretty close to your energy field. I don't feel as though every single detail has been worked out to the exact way that it's supposed to go at this time. And so when that starts to come in for you, because it's like this momentum you've been building, you've been working hard. And so when that comes, it's going to come in fast, right? Once those little details kind of work themselves out, it's going to be boom. And you're going to ready. You're going to be running. You're going to be ready. You're going to be go, go, go. And it's about creating space for living in your purpose. That's really what I feel is coming in for you. And what a beautiful time for that, right? Is this Leo season. So it's really great. But I do feel, it's a time for you to be focusing on what you want and not be focusing on like what isn't available, what isn't happening, right? So when you're feeling a little discouraged about something not showing up for you, something not going your way, something not coming to fruition, that's when you need to be channeling this energy into where it is that you want to go. So that's when you start working a little bit harder. That's when you start channeling that energy into something more constructive, okay? So what's a beautiful card here for us is that we got out of the Kyle Gray, the Holy Amethyst, Divine Alchemy. And when we talk about alchemy, that's talking about being the magician of your life, being in control of the outcome, being a co-creator with the universe, right? Beautiful stuff, right? So move beyond current challenges and focus on what you desire, okay? So don't get caught up in what is. Really, really, really be focusing on what will be, right? Because it will be. You want to claim that, and it will come in for you. So really beautiful messages here for you from your spirit guides if you chose pile number 1. Okay? And now we're going to be moving in to pile number 2, which is the Rose Quartz. Rose Quartz is very symbolic of the heart chakra, which, it's a little light pink crystal, and it's just unconditional love, loving energy, beautiful stuff. And yeah, Spirit did tell me, by the way, like what crystal to put with each pile too, because I swore pile number 1 was going to be an amethyst, but it didn't work out that way. Anyhow, pile number 2, Rose Quartz. We have the Page of Swords, a little bit of news coming, right? With the Temperance, with the Sun card, with the Seven of Swords, packing up your lessons and getting out of Dodge, right? And with the Page of Wands as the outcome or final card there. You did get one more card than everybody else, by the way. I couldn't get the deck to just give me one card. It just kept spilling all these cards, and then finally I was just like, okay, I'm going to take that. And so, beautiful messages here for you. Those in pile number 2, Spirit is saying you are in the full moon phase, okay? You are completely illuminated. A lot of things coming to light right now, okay? Now, I do feel as though there is going to be a space and time within this that you are going to be deciding that you're going to let go of some things that are no longer serving you, okay? Now, I do feel like it's going to be happening even maybe at this next full moon, so like in the next, few weeks. So I hear like the number 3, or hear like the word trilogy. Like I feel like it's like take number 3, maybe something you've tried 3 times, and maybe even since the month of June, because the month of June was brought up to me from Spirit as well. So maybe in the last few months there's something that you've been trying to let go of, or something has been building and it is exhausting you now, right? I do feel as though like third time's the charm though with this one will be successful if you're ready to really like let things go and let it be. It could do that. I do feel like Spirit is saying that this has been some sort of a risky business, okay, where you've had to kind of like fly under the radar, and it's very taxing to you, like physically taxing because it's stressful, or mentally taxing, something to that effect. But I do feel like now it's kind of gotten to the point where there's more and more people that have come to know of these things, or have gotten into the know. Maybe there's more and more people involved, and so it's kind of like upping the ante in terms of like the risk that's associated with that. And now you're beginning to see the light a little bit, right? That's that illumination where more and more more and more things are coming to light, with that sun card that we had as well. And so I feel like I'm hearing the lyrics from that song, like, you need to let it go, you need to let it go. And so I feel like you have this nagging feeling. You know that you need to let it go. It's needed to go. But I feel like now is the time that you're actually going to be able to do that, because I feel like maybe in the beginning when you got involved with this, you were a little bit more naive. Maybe you were desperate, right? Maybe you were like, I just need this. I need something for now. And so then you got into this. Maybe, I don't want to use the word gullible, but you kind of felt as though, yeah, because I'm going to be flying under the radar, there's not as much risk, right? You kind of convinced yourself that there wasn't as much risk. And now you are seeing that there is just so much to it. But now you've grown in your wisdom, and you're going to come out on the other side of this with a lot more wisdom. And so now you are ready. I do feel as though things were being swept under the rug, or maybe it worked for you because you were kind of flying under the radar. You kind of like to do your own thing, right? And now it's to the point where that's just no longer working, because it's not even happening, that you're just like doing solo. And so I do feel as though Spirit is saying, listen, if you really want out of this, we can support you. And they're showing me like a parachute, right? Like where if you like jump out of a plane, or if you jump off of a cliff, you have the backpack on, that's your life-saving backpack. You just have to pull the cord, right? You have to like unplug it. And so as you do that, it's going to be a little bit like when you jump off that cliff and you take that leap, it takes a few minutes for your, well, I don't know if it takes a few minutes. I honestly haven't been jumping out of a plane, but I mean, it takes a minute probably for that parachute to open and like fully open and be able to catch all the air to like have you float safely to the ground, right? And when you hit the ground, I mean, you're still hitting pretty hard, but it's not like you're crashing down, right? So Spirit is saying, though, we got you, but you're gonna have to take that leap of faith and trust that parachute's gonna open, right? And so I do feel like it's all gonna even out for you, in the end. I do feel like it's gonna bring balance for you by letting this go, getting rid of this out of your life, this situation. And I do feel like there's going to be a silver lining here for you. I do feel like you're going to be a lot more hopeful as a result of that. And I do feel like you might actually see a lot more cooperation than you expect to see in terms of others lining up to help you. I feel like you're gonna feel a lot more supported, and actually see a lot more support come out. Like coming out of the woodwork is what I'm hearing too. Like like there'll be a lot more people there to support you than you think in the end. So I do feel like that's a really good thing. On the other side of this, we have Kut Humi, the cloak of wisdom. This is that wisdom that we're talking about, right? And it's a beautiful thing. This was actually recently in one of my readings as well. So this is out of the Keeper of the Light deck by Kyle Gray. And this says, you already know the answer that you seek, trust what you know. And so with this, it's about understanding that this fog will lift. Right now, things might look a little cloudy. You're really not sure how to get out. You're really not sure how to navigate your path a little bit. But it's like all of a sudden this fog lifts and things happen and you see clearly and you're trusting your intuition and you're going to allow your soul to lead the way, and you're going to get out safely to a safe landing, a safe space. You're going to navigate out of the woods safely, right? And come to this clearing where then all of a sudden there's this trail and you can get down to the bottom of the mountain totally fine, right? And so that's what I feel with that. I do feel like you're going to come out, you're not going to be like relying on knowledge that you're going to like find in like a book, right? This is what that Kuhumi says, right? Like you're going to not be relying on knowledge that you find in a book. You're not going to be relying on like advice from other people or a map, right? Like you are going to straight up be relying on yourself, your intuition, your gut feeling, your soul literally will be kind of pulling you, guiding you, and you're just gonna know like this is the path, this is the one. You might be at a fork in the road and you're gonna know like this is not the way, this is the way. Okay, it's gonna be very clear to you. So just watch for the signs and trust your feelings, and you will come out on the other side of this feeling so much better. And I feel like there's gonna be, like a huge difference in how you respond to your environment, respond to things around you. I do feel like, Spirit used the word disparity. Like, I feel like you're going to be navigating your world with like new eyes, right? Like there's going to be a complete fresh start here. You're going to be really confident, and I feel really good things with that. So I hope that this helps you on your path here. For those that picked pile number 2, thank you so much for participating. Now, as we move into pile number 3, we have the Fluorite, which is a beautiful, like it's a green and purple, and it's kind of iridescent, right? Beautiful. And this is really one for helping you navigate those that around you that might be manipulating you a little bit, but really just overall just clearing blockages, okay? Really removing negativity, helping you get through stressful situations and stressful energy, right? That kind of thing. All right. And so for this pile, we have the Page of Cups with the King of Cups. Sitting on your throne, stable in your emotions, right? 4 of Pentacles, 4 Pentacles. Guarding the heart a little bit, right? Feeling a little unstable, even though the King says that you're stable with your emotions. The 4 of Pentacles, there it calls into question like how you love, how you want to be loved, and feeling just a little bit unstable in terms of that, which I'm going to get into that though. And then the outcome or the final card is actually 3 of Pentacles in reversed, okay? So with this, I'm really feeling, okay, so Spirit has asked me to use the moon to guide people in terms of like what phase they are in their life at this time. So for those that chose pile number 3, you are currently navigating the waxing gibbous, okay? So that's from new moon all the way to full moon, okay? So currently, tomorrow is our new moon. So like over the next couple of weeks is when we go to our full moon. So actually, if you're working with the moon, this would be the time to work on releasing these things, okay? Or building these things up to release on the full moon. So beautiful time for me to be releasing this video. So we have to really look at with this what's working and what's not, and it's really a time for you to be making those adjustments. Make that adjustment today, right? And so, I do feel with this an overall like sadness or feeling of like regret in terms of you know, a decision that's been made, right? In terms of feeling like you have had something imposed upon you, or like, you know, legal document, or something has come down the pipe to you in terms of the justice system, right? And I feel like there's a feeling of sadness and regret around that. And I do feel as though maybe you're feeling like this was very merciful or lenient towards you. And I do feel that this is a good thing, but I do feel like you're pretty entrenched in your belief system. Okay, so what I mean by that is you're pretty solid and firm in standing in your beliefs. What we need is to be a little bit more lenient with ourselves in terms of allowing ourselves space to create mistakes and learn from them, because I do feel like the overarching theme here is that this is like big cycle for you. This is like repeating cycles for you, repeating lessons like over and over again. You are working on the same lesson, but it's coming up for you in your life in different ways. And so now this is just the most recent way for you that this lesson has shown up for you. And so you have seen it through. And now maybe you're feeling a little bit of regret about it. Like, why can't I get past this? Why can't I learn from my mistakes? But the whole theme here is that through all of these lessons and how they're showing up, it's a repeated cycle for great growth. You're going to have like exponential growth once you get through all of that, right? Understand that this is just a small setback. But once you start to navigate those lessons just a little bit differently, if you're making small tweaks in your belief system, small tweaks in how you see things, in your perspective, small tweaks in how you're responding to your environment, you will create a wave of change. You will create a different, you know, energy, and what will be coming into you will be different, right? You'll be calling in new and different experiences. And as a result of that, it's like showing spirit, like, hey, I'm navigating these situations just a little bit differently. I am learning from my mistakes. And so then they will start to show you different things in your life. Different things will show up for you. And so then you will no longer be repeating that same cycle. You will no longer be seeing those same issues showing up in your daily life in different ways, because you will say, I got this one, Spirit, like I learned, and then they can send you new lessons, right? So it's a really beautiful process. I do feel right now like you might be beating yourself up over things because maybe you're a perfectionist, right? You're feeling like, I shouldn't have done that, or I shouldn't have gotten myself into that, or how did I get myself into this mess? But listen, we can't change the past, right? And that's what we're here for. We're here to learn, we're here to grow, and we're all a work in progress. So I want you to be kind to yourself. I want you to be gentle on yourself as you move through this, because, you know, what is that little saying where, you know, this is your setback that creates that creates space for your comeback, something to that effect. This is exactly it. This is all these little lessons, and then now you're gonna have a great big comeback, right? And you're gonna show up in a big way. You're gonna have big energy around it, and you're gonna feel amazing because you overcame that, right? I think right now it's a time for you to really think about forgiveness, forgiving yourself, forgiving others. And I do feel like it's a time for you to be focusing on the camaraderie around you. So having faith and flow and trust. And so what is it that you could be doing? Who could you be hanging out with and spending time with? Who do you trust? And, you know, who do you communicate with on a regular basis as like your A1 from day one? Like, those are the people that you need to be surrounding yourself with, so you feel fully supported as you move through this energy, right? Because when you are surrounding yourself with loving situations and loving people, you're seeing the love in yourself. You're creating space for spirit and the universe to send you more loving situations, and you're seeing the world in a more loving way, right? So it's a really beautiful process, honestly. So, that Four of Pentacles here, it's talking about how can you love differently. How do you want to be loved, and how can you love others, and how are you loving yourself, and all the things, what determines your worth, those type of things. These are things that are coming up with that Four of Pentacles, and that's where you might be feeling solid in your emotions, right? Where you can control your emotions, you're not reactive, all those things. But then also there's this underlying thing that's kind of holding you back. Like, we got to think about, why do you have your guard up? Because when you have your guard up and you're guarding your heart like that, you're blocking out all the things, right? You're blocking out joy and happiness, right? I mean, you might experience joy, but it's at a much lesser degree than if you were completely open to loving experiences, right? And so for you, out of the Keepers of the Light Oracle deck with Kyle Gray, from Kyle Gray, we have faith, right? This is beautiful. Humanity and benevolence. This is what you need to be focusing on right now, okay? You gotta have faith that everything's gonna work out. And so, it says, stay calm, trust the good in yourself and in others, and see the light in the world. Really beautiful message here for you. For those that chose pile number 3, thank you so much for participating, and I will be back as always for all of you with another read again soon. Thank you so much. Take care.